already at the end of 2023. So again, happy December to everyone. Thanks again for taking some time to join us today. I'm joined by my colleague, Carrie Thomas from IAOCR. We're excited to be here to continue to talk about TMF University and what we hope to offer in the year of 2024. So again, thanks everyone for taking some time to join us today. We do have quite a few topics to get through. I know we have our broadcast scheduled for an hour, but we don't anticipate. It really just depends on you all and the questions and engagement that you might have. But Carrie and I probably have about 15 to 20 minutes of content. That might even be pushing it. We really just want to provide some general information to you all. So again, thanks so much for joining. Excited to have some time with you all. I'm going to first turn it over to Carrie to provide some general background from IAOCR. We do partner and collaborate with them from LMK's perspective to deliver the TMF University program. So we're so happy to have a representative here today to kind of talk about the role that IAOCR plays in the TMF University program in general. So thanks again, Carrie. I'll turn it over to you.
Thanks, Ben. As Ben says, I'm Carrie Thomas, one of the accreditation quality leads at IAOCR, and I'm delighted to be here with Ben today to celebrate the TMF University program. It's been a great team to work with. So LMK and IAOCR have worked closely together as partners for a number of years now, and achieving the success with the TMF training and the accreditation program. And I think it's driven by our joint desire for ensuring quality in clinical research. IAOCR are the only independent organisation to provide internationally recognised accreditation specifically for clinical research. And over the last 10 years, we've accredited thousands of people around the world in various clinical research roles. So I think the significance of this program is to understand that it is based on the key competencies required by TMF professionals, and it was developed by the industry and for the industry. And the significance of the TMF University is, for you, it's the only way to achieve professional global recognition for the knowledge, the skills, and the behaviour that's required to work with the TMF. So just to give a bit of a background or analogy, accreditation is not the same as receiving a certificate for having attended a training event or taking a quiz online. Just like we're not allowed to be let loose on the roads in a car just because we've read a book about it, you know, there has to be some practical demonstration of the skills and the experience before it is safe for us to go on the roads. And it's the same with the knowledge and skills and behaviour required to be working with the TMF to ensure that at the end of the line, the patients on the clinical research trials are safe and the data has maximum integrity. And because we recognise that a well-managed TMF is crucial to a clinical trial, that's why attending the TMF University to confirm your understanding and to further develop your skills, this will help secure the integrity of the TMF that you're working with. Now, attending TMF University is a personal investment. But we hear a lot of feedback from those who have attended and given their time to achieve the accreditation, and the kind of value that they see is things, you know, we often hear that they now have a greater confidence in their job role. They're receiving positive feedback from the sponsors and greater internal recognition. They're finding that they've now got the ability to train others competently. They've got better understanding of the process that they're currently working on, because at TMFU, you're always applying the understanding to real world applications. The learners have consolidated their understanding, they've suggested that previously their understanding of the TMF was fragmented. But actually, by going through the TMF U program, they've consolidated that understanding, and they've got far more increased confidence to follow the regulations. Overall, they all comment that somehow it's managed to, advance their career, even through the practical help that they receive for applying the metrics and the regulations. We see that people refer back to their training materials, they refer back to their assessment materials on the job to improve what they're doing every day. So it's by no means a magic wand, but people are definitely giving us the feedback that by making the investment into the accreditation, they are definitely reaping the rewards. And, as the independent accreditor for the TMF U program, IAOCR is just super confident that this is the most robust and rigorous, independently verified process that there is out there to clearly demonstrate your competence and, reward you with the professional recognition you deserve when you're working with the TMF. Thanks, Ben.
Yeah, thanks so much, Carrie. And I was taking some notes on some comments that you said, because I was like, oh, I definitely want to circle back on those. And I know for those listening in, if you have questions about the comments that Carrie is making or that I might make with some of the updates that I'm going to present, feel free to filter those in through the comments. You do have that option. We may not address them directly right away. We may come back to them. We are going to have some time towards the end of our session to specifically go through the comments that you all might leave in the chat. But I did like the comment about the magic wand. I did kind of mention that because as individuals join TMF University, we often have the questions of, what's the benefit for me when I come out of the program? And I do kind of like the thought of, it's not a magic wand to say that if you listen into the material or by simply registering for TMF University, that you are going to be the top TMF professional in the world, right? It's the work and effort that you're willing to put into the program, your participation and engagement. We do have the materials, right? We are providing you the concepts and foundations to be a qualified TMF professional, but it's the work that you are willing to put into that. And I agree with Carrie, we do host the graduation ceremonies. It's like, what's the word I'm looking for here? The graduation ceremonies after each group to kind of get that feedback to see what are people benefiting from, what would they like to see improved upon within their program. And that confidence is really key. I think that's something for me as a TMF professional. When I started, I was a bit more reluctant to speak up in meetings, as TMF is often looked at as, we do the activities, yet we say yes, right? Or the yes people, but it's our turn to really stick up and say, no, we're the subject matter experts here. Let us help you, right? Let's collaborate together. So excellent points there, Carrie. I appreciate it. And so I am going to kind of talk about some of the exciting aspects of TMF University that we're changing. So we've been delivering the program for nearly 3 years now, which is kind of crazy to think about. And we are kind of shifting in 2024 based on the feedback that you all as previous learners have provided, as well as maybe individuals who want to participate in TMF University, changes that they would like to see. So the first thing that I did want to mention is we are offering more times and different times for participation. So I currently deliver, and Ben Rogers again here, deliver the TMF University program. I am located on the eastern coast of the United States. And so the times that we've offered the program, the feedback that we've heard is that it tends to be a little bit more US centric. So we do want to offer times that are more available for our colleagues outside of the US. So we're introducing new courses, or not new courses, but times rather. So to kick off 2024, we're going to have 2 courses on Wednesdays. So courses are going to be from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern and 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern. And then we're really excited to offer a Friday course for the first time, and that's going to be from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern. And that hopefully will really excite some colleagues outside of of the United States, particularly in Europe and Asia, as those times are a little bit earlier in the day around lunchtime or maybe as you're logging off. So it might be easier to accommodate the TMF University program now. We're still going to offer the same number of courses, so 9 courses total across the 3 levels for discovery, immersion, and mastery. But another exciting update is that the courses are actually becoming shorter. So currently they're offered at 3 hours, but the feedback that we've gotten from learners is that we want TMF University to really appeal to all TMF professionals or really anybody in the industry that might work with the Trial Master file. And so we know we're going to have a very wide range of skills and knowledge when it comes to the TMF. So what we've heard is we need to do a better job of balancing what we offer in the courses to appeal to all of those audiences. So what we've decided to do is really shorten the courses to 2 hours. So we're going to have about an hour and 15 minutes of content in those courses, and then we're going to have a break, and then we're going to have some hands-on application. So this is going to be a new exciting thing as well in TMF University, where we're going to have course discussions together. We're going to look at case studies and analyze, what could we do to improve the situation, what went wrong. We're going to look at processes and walk through those processes together to say, what's written well? What needs to change? How could we improve this process? And we're going to collaborate together, and you're going to have access to those materials. You're going to have access to those recordings as we problem solve in real time. So that's really the big change that we're making to the courses, is having less time for you as a learner in the classroom, but the time that we are together in those live instructor-led trainings, it gives you some hands-on application, allows you to kind of drive the class a little bit more. So we're really excited to offer that as part of the program in 2024. However, we do understand, so for those of you that are maybe newer to the Trial Master file or looking to get into the industry, and you're like, wow, 3 hours, that's kind of a lot of time. I'd like to have that time, right, to really gain a better understanding of the Trial Master file. We still have you covered. So we're looking to take some of the material that we've removed that's maybe a bit more foundational or supplemental to the course, and we actually now video record that. So it's kind of like if you were to attend a lecture that was recorded, we would post that for you as a supplemental learning. So it's not just a slide deck that you'll read. It'll still be a presentation provided by myself that walks through the materials, does go a little bit more in depth to those particular topics. So for somebody who maybe is newer to the Trial Master file, they can explore those supplemental learnings. It's entirely dependent on the learning path that you want to take, but that information will be available to you as part of the TMF University program. So we'll have the course that's instructor-led, that's 2 hours. And again, about the last 30 minutes or so is really going to be a group activity where we'll go through case studies or SOP updates, or we'll have general discussions. And then there's supplemental learnings that you can explore if you would like to, or if you feel like very confident in that particular area, you can choose not to participate in that supplemental learning. We're also going to have other opportunities for engagement. Something we have been doing for quite a while is office hours. We're going to continue to offer those, but we're also going to add additional office hours to go through other case studies that we might not get to in the course. If there's general questions or feedback in the course, we're going to have that as a session as well, where we're going to now record those. And so you'll have additional supplemental learning that's there if we go through another case study and you'd like to see how that was explored. But maybe you can't attend the office hour. It's not at a time that works best for you. No worries. You can listen into that recording. That'll also be material that's available for you. So we're really going for that practical real world application, right? So it's kind of scenario based learning to say, this is where we are. How do we get to where we want to be? We're going to discover there's no perfect way, right? You may have an idea to go one route and somebody else may have another idea to take it another way. We're going to talk about the strategies, right? That's one of the really exciting things we're excited to discuss and explore is what are the different ways that we can assess current situations and how can we make decisions best for our organization. So the big changes, of course, again, reducing the amount of time that you're spending in the actual course you're required to attend, offering more hands-on application and offering new times. Thanks again. Taylor put in a comment for the full course schedule. That'll include the times and the courses for those those looking to register. As we go through 2024, currently we're offering courses on Wednesdays and Fridays for our January, February, and March courses. That may shift, as we get to summer. We know people maybe take more vacation, and Friday may not be the best day for folks to attend. So we might shift our schedule throughout the year to accommodate anticipated learning. We seek that feedback. So, how do we come to these changes? How do we make these decisions? We've reached out to previous learners. We've reached out to learners who have expressed interest in the program and said, what times would work for you? What are you looking to see in the program? What are you looking to gain at the end of the program? And to meet those needs, these are some of the changes that we have implemented. So I think I've covered a lot of the course specific updates that we're really doing. The other thing that I'm really excited to announce, and this is with a lot of work with Carrie over the recent months, to launch the e-portfolio environment as well. So we have continued to say throughout our TMF University broadcast, one of the aspects of TMF University that challenges learners the most is the portfolios that are required to be completed. So the portfolios allow you to demonstrate your understanding. Kind of as Carrie mentioned, it gives you the ability to acknowledge or demonstrate your understanding of a particular topic. It's not really a checkbox. It's more of a question or scenario-based style question to address and demonstrate your understanding. Now, we've previously offered that in a Word document, and it's gone back and forth via email, and we've had to convert to PDF. And it's been a frustrating process for learners that maybe don't have access to PDF, or we've lost comments, right? So IAOCR has worked very hard to offer an e-portfolio environment that we'll be launching in 2024 that's going to streamline that process. It's going to make it easier for you as a learner to enter your information, so it'll take less time to complete your assessment portfolios. From an administrative perspective, you're still going to be answering similar questions, but we're hoping to reduce some of the effort it takes to download the Word document, go to your email. Everything will be done in one central environment online. And it's really going to streamline the process for us as assessors to provide your feedback. So we are very excited to launch that because we think it's going to be easier for learners to manage. There's less administrative burden for you as a learner, less technology burden for Word and PDF and things that could go wrong. And it's been a really exciting thing to see grow as well. So those portfolios will still exist. So if you do know someone that's participated in TMF University, they will probably share, just like the feedback that Carrie shared, that in the moment of completing the assessment portfolio, it's not our favorite activity to do because it is similar to homework, right? That's the best way to compare it, to demonstrate our understanding. But when we get to the graduation ceremony, people say those assessment portfolios were actually very beneficial because I had to think about a topic outside of kind of my current understanding, and I have to be able to express my thoughts on that topic. I think a lot of us, we can be asked a question of like, oh, explain this, right? And you're like, I know it, but I don't really know how to explain it. And when you leave TMF University, we want you to be able to explain these topics so that you do feel more confident, as Carrie mentioned, and you feel competent and able to train other individuals, right? I always say in TMF University, I want you to be able to go to your colleagues and your peers and make the TMF easy for them to understand, right? Regulation is very overwhelming. There's a lot of wording that goes into regulation, and we want you to be able to kind of discuss those topics with your peers in a way that's easy for them to understand. And that is what the portfolios are going to do for you. So we're excited to kind of shift to an or an online portfolio environment. Of course, as you register and you're going through the program, we're going to make sure we're kind of holding your hand along the way and giving you access to all of these things. So if you're kind of worried about the logistics of how things work, don't worry. We'll have an orientation that kind of walks you through what you can expect as you're going through TMF University. Another thing with the portfolios that we've been doing based off feedback is actually kind of doing a walkthrough. So you'll have a recording there as a supplemental learning that's kind of lessons learned. So I'm kind of like, hint, hint, wink, wink. Don't say this. This is kind of the way the question is designed to be answered, right? Like if we ask you, how do you make sure the TMF is inspection ready? Don't say, I make sure the TMF is inspection ready. Like, how do you do it, right? We ask you, we kind of give you some hints on how to answer those questions because we do want you to be successful. So as we've talked about some of the changes for 2024, they were really all designed based around learner needs, right? So that is something we really pride ourselves off on TMF University, is listening to you all as an industry, listening to what you want as a TMF professional, what's going to make it easier for you to attend TMF University. What are you hoping to gain out of TMF University? I'm really excited about the hands-on activities. We've done some piloting with those activities. And we've gotten some really creative feedback, even with me and my experience. I only have the experiences that I've lived, right? And so other people have said, actually, I've done this. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like that's not something I've seen, but that is a really creative strategy there. So I'm very much excited about that engagement. That was one of our big drivers for how do we kind of create engagement within TMF University, because for a long time, me delivering the training, I try my best to make sure people know they can ask questions and that they can, participate and, create dialogue if needed. But now we're kind of building in that participation to the program and putting you in the driver's seat. So again, lots of exciting changes coming. Just looking at my notes here to make sure I've touched on all the big ones there. The supplemental learnings, I just want to kind of reiterate the purpose of those really quickly. So the supplemental learnings are those kind of additional recordings that I talked about that are going to go maybe a deeper dive into a certain topic. So some people may feel confident in that area. Like, for example, if we're thinking through like the TMF index course and we wanted to do a deeper dive into the columns of the TMF reference model and you felt confident, then you wouldn't listen to that one perhaps, but somebody else may want to know some more information, so they could listen into that if they'd like to. And the beautiful thing is with office hours, that then creates opportunities for you to listen to those supplemental information and then come back with questions, right? Hey, in the supplemental recording, I noticed this. Can we maybe explore that in office hours? Absolutely. So we are creating more opportunities for you to engage with us as educators and subject matter experts, but also giving you more control of your learning and where you want to participate and the information that you want to absorb. So I'm really excited for 2024. I think we have a lot of great changes. It'll be a shift for me as well. I've been delivering the program now for about 2.5 years, kind of changing the way it's delivered. It'll be exciting for me to kind of switch things up, lean into you all and your expertise and the experiences you've had in those course activities. I know Taylor's been addressing some of the comments that have come in about what's included in the training. I haven't seen anything maybe come in comments, but we'll give it a second here now that we're kind of done going through our major updates here. Don't know if we have any immediate feedback, thoughts, questions, comments. We're about exactly right where I thought we'd be, Carrie, with 20 minutes into it. So we'll just give it a little bit here, maybe just digesting some information. I will say, again, we can make sure links are provided to the LMK website for registration information. If you're looking for, the courses, the times, and you want to confirm that information, you can independently review that. And if you have questions, we can certainly support you after the fact. Our next cohort, we're about a month out from when that's going to kick off. I believe, let me check my calendar. It should be January 10th, that Wednesday.
Yeah. Right, so I can see that Ben. Sorry, I can see that Ben disappeared for a minute, but I wasn't sure if it was me.
No, I apologize there. The spinning wheel. I don't know what got me. Technology is always fun. Thanks for now. We're truly live. We haven't pre-recorded this. Oh my goodness.
Ben, I was just winding up to take the opportunity to say that, I've been making notes while you've been speaking, and I want people to understand that the TMF U program was already an exemplary training course, and we love the fact that you've taken it even further with these group activities and case studies, because from an accreditor's point of view, we can see that you're really reinforcing that transfer of learning for the learners. And where else do you get to test out your understanding and share your ideas in what I'd like to call a safe environment? You might have those questions during your working life, but not necessarily have the confidence to test your understanding or to test new ideas with somebody. So I love the town, I love the office hours, I love the group activities. And certainly moving to the online program, we talked about the integrity of the assessment earlier. And again, it's only going to enhance that. So as the accreditor for this program, we are delighted.
Awesome. Thanks, Carrie. Yeah, again, sorry everyone for the challenges there. I see a few questions have come in. One related to just course content, how often that's updated. And that is a fantastic question. And so something I think we kind of all need to acknowledge is that, TMF management and the core expectations for the trial master file haven't wildly changed in the past, 10 to 15 years as far as kind of the general purpose of the trial master file, right? What has changed is really the electronic environment that we're working in with e-signatures and certified copies and eTMF platforms. The role of TMF management is shifting. It's really a cultural shift within organizations of what the trial master file should look like within an organization. So we do look at the regulatory landscape. I'm sure we're all familiar with ICH GCP, with the E6R3 updates that are anticipated. And so as regulation evolves or changes, we do incorporate that within TMF University. We review our materials to see the impact that might be made. So that is one kind of way that we update material. We also update material just based off of industry feedback and industry trends, as we are seeing developments with like automation with eTMF platforms. Again, as we see organizations shift to e-signatures, or if we're seeing changes in like processing or kind of the centralized or decentralized models that organizations are using, we try to incorporate that within our course material. So we're not changing it, every week, every month, and the changes that we do make are not so significant that, the program looks entirely different than it was when it was initially conceived, 3 years ago. Maybe some of the regulatory requirements are slightly different, but what a TMF professional is has really held true for the past 3 years. So we really look to kind of those areas to make updates. So a really great question there. There was a comment about someone starting out in the clinical research field. What benefit can TMF University provide to those individuals, and how can that accelerate career growth? And again, I always try to be very honest and transparent with questions like this to say, if you participate in TMF University, does that mean you will have a job as a TMF professional? Does that mean you will be accepted into a new position just because you've completed the program? No, right? It's just like if you were to have a graduate degree or degree from a university, that doesn't guarantee you a job just because you've demonstrated that you're able to obtain an accreditation or a degree. It really is going to be reliant on you as an individual and the time that you're willing to put into the program. We do see people being more confident in interviews. We've gotten feedback that folks are able to more directly answer questions. So we're giving you some hands-on experience with things like document QC. You wouldn't otherwise have that if you weren't in the industry. We're giving you understanding of how to review a TMF index. We're talking about the regulatory environment. So we're giving you the foundation to answer questions in interviews more confidently, but it's about you as a learner and what you're willing to absorb within the program. Are you attending office hours if you're unsure? Are you asking questions if you're unsure? I always welcome those. Sometimes I ask what I think is a silly question because I'm like, I should know this, but I don't. There's no silly questions, right? Ask them. That's what I'm here for. I love those types of questions. I love the what ifs or what about this. So we can really help you to be, again, more confident, more knowledgeable of the industry and what the trial master file is. As a hiring manager, when you're asking people questions and the way that they're answering them, do they just kind of know like TMF, they kind of know, oh, it's about documentation, or they really talk about the purpose of the TMF and how all stakeholders have involvement with the trial master file because they're all producing documentation, and talk about those quality aspects that we expect. So that's what we're giving you in TMF University, is that deep knowledge of the role of the trial master file. But again, I always like to say, you've got to work with me. I'm willing to put forth the effort to help you if you're willing to put forth the effort to help yourself. But we do, as Carrie mentioned, we try to do a pretty comprehensive job.
And I think also it's worth mentioning the relationship that the learners have with their assessor. And again, there's the opportunity there to maybe exploit is too strong a word, but to use the relationship with your assessor like a mentor relationship, that you can ask questions, that you can check your understanding, you get feedback. Obviously there might be areas where your understanding is missing and your assessor wants you to confirm your understanding and fill in the gaps, but equally you get positive reinforcement. You don't just get a tick. Your assessor comes back to you and says, this is a really good example, yes, do more of this. And that's not what you get from any other tick box program.
Also, yeah, and I really do appreciate that note, Carrie, there with the assessment portfolio. Some people may have that question of what does that look like, right? Is it pass or fail? And it really isn't that pass or fail environment. We, again, treat it kind of like a mentorship. You have kind of given your responses, and a lot of times you're going to fully address a comment, and sometimes it may be an area you're unsure of, right? So we offer some feedback there to help you kind of re-acknowledge the question being asked. So if you're kind of nervous about assessment portfolios, maybe it's been a while since you've been in kind of an assessment type environment, I promise you, we will work with you to make sure you feel supported in answering those questions. I've got some folks that have said they've registered and excited to kick it off. So yeah, Taylor, excited to see you as well. For those that have registered, maybe to quickly say this, if you have registered and you're just kind of listening in, you're like, oh, I'm in the 2024 groups, what's going to change? And you're worried about like invites and orientation, that'll all be coming out in the coming weeks as we're finalizing some of the program materials. So if you're looking for calendar invites or orientation materials, I will be sending out notifications closer towards the end of the year for everyone. Don't worry, there's not like 5 or 10 hours of coursework that needs to be done. It's a short like orientation video. I'll probably have some open office hours before if you've got questions you want to ask. So not a lot of pre-work that's required. For pricing, so we currently have all pricing available that Taylor has provided as well earlier in the chat. If you'd like to review that, it kind of breaks it down based off if you only want to take certain courses, if you are interested in only the discovery level courses, only the immersion level courses, only the mastery, some of everything. So you can kind of look at the pricing structure to kind of determine what is of most interest to you. I will say, we do offer in TMF University, you don't have to take all 9 courses. If you're someone who's only really interested in document QC, you can attend that course. We have pricing information available on the website. If you're only interested in maybe document QC and metrics, can you do that? That's a course from Discovery and that's a course from Mastery. Can I take that? You absolutely can. We want to appeal to what you want to learn. So if you're someone who's really more knowledge driven and you're just kind of interested in learning, maybe you only want to take 1 or 2 courses. If you're someone who's more professional development or career development oriented, then maybe you want to go through the accreditation process. That is totally fine as well. So we have pricing information, course information, all of that available on our website where you can also register. There are, obviously some incentives for registering for the full program. So if you do the TMF Manager accreditation, there are some discounts for completing all of the courses as compared to like individually pricing them out or taking maybe just one level of courses. So totally up to you all. We welcome, learners for 1 course, 9 courses, 6, whatever is best for you. I'm totally happy to support you in that journey. And if you have specific questions, if you know what's maybe in your best interest, ask us. You can reach out to us. We have our contact information available. Like, would this work? Totally fine. We often get questions as well. I'll take this moment to acknowledge that we know that TMF University is a commitment. If you were to take all 9 courses, we'll be working together over a 3-month period. Now, we have reduced the amount of time you're in the classroom, right, by a third because we removed 1 hour from our 3-hour courses. So we're hoping that will be less of a stressor for folks to attend the program. But we know life happens, we know work happens, and things kind of compete with TMF University for your time. And so we do offer learners deferrals if they need them. So if things just get really busy with work or in your personal life, or something comes up that you need to step away from TMF University, you're not penalized for that. We'll certainly welcome you back. To TMF University. We try to do it within about a 6-month period. So we have quarterly cohorts. So, for example, if you were to start in the Q1 cohort, we'd like you to come back by the Q2 or Q3. But things do happen. So we'll certainly talk to you if there needs to be some type of outlier or circumstance there. But we do our best to make sure that we offer you opportunities to come back to the program to get that education that you were looking for. So just be mindful of that. If you're maybe someone who's like, I don't know how 2024 is going to start, right? 2023 is wrapping up. It's a bit hectic. I don't know if I want to register in 2024. I would say, I think we still currently have our 2023 pricing available for registrants. I think in the new year, we're going to see, thank you. Yep, put it up there. They'll rise in 2024, like most things that we see these days. So if you're like, hey, maybe I want to register with the mindset of if I need to defer, I can, but I've locked in the pricing, right? So that's one incentive that we're also offering. So we've got, again, opportunities for you to kind of come back to the program if you need it. So just wanted to acknowledge that as well. And seeing here, we're about 10:35. I don't see anything else coming in right now. So as we're kind of wrapping up, if maybe 1 or 2 more comments come in, I'll acknowledge those. But just want to say thanks everyone for attending. Sorry for the technical glitches there. I didn't lose internet connection, so I don't know what happened there with getting kicked out. But I'm excited to see some of the questions from a content perspective. Pricing. What are you going to have as a learner? I'm really excited for 2024. I can't wait to kind of get initial learner feedback as we kick this off in January to see, how are these changes playing out? Are people, getting the benefit to the course activities? And I will say, kind of as a final thought for myself, if you're looking to participate in TMF University, what do I want from you as a learner, somebody that I'm kind of working alongside in the program? Really just come prepared to participate, right? I want you to be an active participant in TMF University, especially with those changes that we're making to the ends of the courses with those course activities. I don't want to be the one generating all of the responses, right? When we have our prompts up or we have our case study and we're like, okay, what do we do? I don't want to have to be the one leading the conversation, right? I want to hear your ideas, what you think might work here, what you think is a bad idea, right? So really come prepared to ask questions, be engaged, challenge yourself and your current understanding, come with an open mind to TMF University. Again, we can get very stuck in our own organizational understanding, right? We only have the experiences that we know. So come prepared to maybe challenge your current ideals and be prepared to talk about that. That really helps me stay engaged as an instructor and really get a benefit from you all as well. So that's really my ask for 2024. Come prepared to participate and share your opinions and experiences. And then, Carrie, I can maybe give you the last word then if there's anything you wanted to share just from your excitement for 2024, maybe from the accreditation process, before we let folks get back to their day.
I'm just, because the TMF professionals are so key to the success of a clinical trial, why not get the professional recognition you deserve? This is the best way to do it.
Love it.
Let's just go for it.
I love it. Yeah, get the recognition you deserve. I think that's a great way to end it. So again, just thanks everyone for your time today. Really appreciate it. If you do have questions, again, we've got some contact information for you. We do have our website that you can also reference. If you're listening to this after the fact and you have questions, ask. We are always happy to answer questions. If there's something you're unsure about, please let us know. Again, thank you for your time. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of your week, and hopefully I'll see you in 2024 in TMF University.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.